So we are now working on the 10th Anuvaka, Garbhashtame. This is the 10th Anuvaka, which means we are coming to the culmination of the study of Chamaka Prashna. And you will also see a refrain here, everything please give to me for the sake of Yajna, Yajnena Kalpantam, Yajnena Kalpantam. And finally it also says Atma Yajnena Kalpantam. So even make my body mind complex also as for the sake of Yajna only. So how can we achieve this? So every time you do the Nyasa Vidhi, so we have seen that you have to chant the Rishi Devata Chandas. Of course, in Dublin class, I have not yet introduced that concept. I will come to that. That means every single mantra is addressed to a deity, and that deity is called Devata. Then every single mantra has been visualized by one or the other sage. He is Rishi. Then every single mantra also has got a meter or chandas. So Rishi, Devata and Chandas. So it's only when all the three are there, a sentence or a piece of poetry can be called as a Vedic mantra. So, in other words, the necessary and the sufficient condition for calling a mantra, it must have a Rishi, Devata, Chandas. So, when in this Anuvaka, the Rishi is talking about how to incorporate the Rishi Devata Chandas in our practice. So this is how we have to do. We have seen earlier in the earlier mantras everything relating to the cosmos, and we have also seen mantras relating to the microcosm from within ourselves. Now you take the Rishi Devata Chandas and then you visualize the Devata, and then you create a altar, a mantapa in your heart. And that mantapa must be consecrated by placing that Devata in your heart. All this happens in dhyana. And then you actually decorate the altar with the Devata by seating the Rishi in the presence of that Devata, and the Rishi will speak the Chandas. So that means in essence the mantra drashtara, the seer of the Rishi, will actually sit in your heart and will chant the mantra. Now, you have actually created this altar, and in that altar, refer to the Taittiriya Upanishad. In Taittiriya Upanishad, we have a mantra which says, Tat Srishtva, having created, Tadeva Anupravishat. The sage has actually entered into what he has created. Tadanu pravishya, having entered into it, satyatyaccha bhavat. Satyatyaccha bhavat means he completely envelops what he has created, gets inside it and also outside, and becomes infinite from then on. That means he will be both antaryami and also he will be sarvantaryami. So that should be the level of our dhyana when we are trying to study a mantra. So you take a mantra and then you do this process. After this process, then what happens is you will take the microcosmic self, merge it with the macrocosmic self, and thus your body becomes actually an altar of yajna. Now, whenever you do puja, you always bring the best of things. You bring the freshest flowers, you bring milk fresh, and you don't use the milk which you already have, and so on and so forth. So is this body fit for such a puja? Because even the body has got to be similarly pure, and therefore in this mantra, in this Anuvaka, 10th Anuvaka, the sage is asking, make my body fit for worship of Shiva, who is sitting in my own heart. And it's not an ordinary heart, it is a sanctum sanctorum, the Garbhagudi. So that is why when we say the Garbhagudi, the sanctum sanctorum is my heart, naturally the Anuvaka starts with Garbhashchame. And then extrapolating this, Garbhashchame is whatever unmanifest sickness is there in me. Because many a time what happens, we live 40, 50, 60, 70 years. And up to that age, we will be absolutely healthy. And somewhere at that point of time, some problems will start manifesting. So that means they did not come from somewhere else. It was already a potential inside. So now we are asking, remove that potential rogas, Garbhashchame, technically called prasupta rogas, that are hidden in me. And then Vatsashchame means prabuddha, that which has already manifest. So there can be unmanifest diseases or manifest diseases. So now you pray, please cleanse my body from manifest and unmanifest diseases. For what purpose? Not so that I can go and eat halwa. So that it will become fit for the placing of Shiva in my heart. So Triyavishchame, you will see from here on a set of two words. Triyavishchame, Triyavichame, Dityavachame, Dityauhichame. So the first, they will use the feminine gender Strilinga and they will also use the masculine gender Pullinga. To the glee and happiness of all of you women, we take all the noble qualities to be feminine and the others to be masculine. So Triyavichame means a naturally healthy constitution. Strilinga. Triyavi, Pullinga, they are the manifestation of all the diseases. And incidentally, Triyavi also means the residence of three entities whom we worship all the time. In every puja, in every yajna, in every samskara, Deva, Pitru, Manushya is worshipped. Part of the Panchamaha Yajna process. So Triyavi represents Deva, Pitru, Manushya. Triyavi, the Pullinga, represents Asura, Pishacha, Rakshasa. Dityavachame, Dityauhichame. Dityavat, and it has to be grammatically Adityavat, and then should be Adityauhichame. But this is a Chandasa Prayoga. Chandasa Prayoga means a certain usage of Sanskrit is peculiar to Veda. So we cannot go and correct it by applying a later Paninian grammar. So Dityavat, if you say Adityavat, Aditi, that is from Aditi, that which is coming, they are all Jalabhimani Devatas. Adityavat and Dityauhi are the governing deities of water. So when we say Adityavachame, Aditi actually refers to the Punarvasu star. So when the rain starts in Punarvasu star, and Swati star we get torrential rains, but in Punarvasu star that is timely rain. So in the Punarvasu star, when the timely rain happens, in other words, the beginning of the rainy season, there is going to be a lot of good crops. Then Dityauhi means it is the Ghora Rupa, or where there are the tornadoes and hurricanes and a lot of Ativrishti. Then Panchavichame, Panchavichame. Panchavihi, it means that all the five physiological systems, the Panchapranas. Panchavichame means tornadoes, hurricanes, that is violent manifestation of air. Trivatsaschame. The Trivatsa, that is the child of the three worlds, of the Triloka. The child of the three worlds is Surya. So here Trivatsachame means it refers to the sun. Trivatsachame refers to Chandra. So Trivatsachame, Trivastrachame. In other words, purify as Surya my intellect and purify my emotion as Chandra. Then Turiyavat is parsed as Turiya Vat. Turiya means the fourth state. What is the fourth state? The fourth state is the not Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupta, but the highest Samadhi state. And Vat means space. So Turyavat means the space of the heart, the Hridayakasha. And who is the Turyavat? It is he who is residing in the cave of our heart. Guhashayan Nihita Sapta Sapta, who is in the cave of the heart, that Paramatma who is bearing my body, he is Turyavat, is also Turyavhi. Turyavhi means one who inhabits the elemental space. So one is the spiritual space in your own heart, another is the elemental space. So here also we are talking about one who inheres in everything and also who is pervading everything. Pashtavaschame. Pashtha means terrible things. So the most terrible thing is when we have an inauspicious mind. So here the prayer is, let there be no inauspiciousness in my mind. Pashtauhi chame means a mind which is always thinking of the noble things. Shubha Chintana. So let me not have pashtha, and let me have pashtauhi. And then because we know very well, Gita Acharya says, Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandhamokshayoho. The mind is responsible for both bondage and liberation. Uksha, this is a highly technical Vedantic word. Uksha means the Chidabhasa. So what is Chidabhasa? Matter, when it is in the presence of the absolute consciousness, it looks as though matter is conscious. You see? How can we understand this? Take, for example, a piece of iron. A piece of iron has no magnetism in it, but you just keep it near another magnet. So this piece of iron also behaves itself like a magnet. But is the magnetic quality inherent to the piece of iron or is it borrowed? It is borrowed from the original magnet. So therefore, as long as this piece of iron is in the contact with the original magnet, it displays magnetic qualities. Similarly, our body-mind complex also. All of this is by themselves inert. Therefore, in the presence of Chit, that means in the presence of the Atman, it appears as though, it looks like sentiency is superimposed. Abhasa means superimposition. It looks as though the sentiency is superimposed on this body-mind complex, and therefore Uksha Chame, this Shariratraya, this threefold Sharira, and all of these things is Uktha. It has been used for the generation of all our karmas. So who actually accumulates all the karmas? Positive and negative. This body which abuses the presence of the Chit, therefore accumulates karma, and therefore only that suffers. The Chit doesn't suffer. All the suffering, Sukha Dukkha, is only for the Chidabhasa Sharira. So therefore here he is asking, why does it do it? Why is it this Uktha generates karma? It is because Vasha. Uktha Chame, Vasha Chame. Vasha means since it is devoid, it does not have Brahman knowledge. Since this body-mind complex, which has acquired sentiency from the Chit, because it was not used to acquire Brahmajnana, it generates karma and therefore it is devoid of Brahmajnana, and therefore the buddhi becomes barren. Now you can see how deep Chamaka Prashna is going. So the mind, why is it our mind is so barren? Why is it our mind is confused? Why is it we are afraid? Why is it we have got Shoka Moha? It is because we have not used the Chaitanya that is actually energizing us. And then we have allowed the Aviveka and Ajnana to enter into our body. Then how did that happen? What's the origin? Next word, Rishabhaschame. Here, the Chandasa Prayoga, Rishabha means ego. So this was caused by Ahankara, and not only that, Rishabhaschame, Vehaschame, the word Vehad in Vedic term, it's called childishness. Why is it we have got so much ignorance? It is because we always behave as though we are children. So look at the harshness with which the Rishi treats himself. Why is it I have got this ajnana? Why is it I have got this ahankara? Why is it my buddhi is barren? It is because I have all the time lived in a very childish manner. Never matured. So, vehaschame, anadvanchame. Anadvanchame means this buddhi which has become so ignorant and which is behaving like a child is not able to see the inhering self. Anadvan, the synonym is Pratyagatman. Since the Pratyagatman who is inhering everything in the universe is not seen because of my childishness. And therefore, please remove it. Until you remove it, this person is not fit altar, is not pure enough a mantapa for Shiva to sit. And dhenuschame, this can be done by means of acquiring Brahma Vidya. Dhenu means Brahma Vidya. Dhi, whatever gives dhi. And dhenu is also used synonymously with a cow. Then of course the rest is a little simpler. Ayushchame, I have to live long, so that it's only when you live long it is possible for us to cleanse all our personality. Therefore, elsewhere in the mantra we also say Pashyema Sharadashyatam, Jivema Sharadashyatam, Nandama Sharadashyatam, Modama Sharadashyatam, Bhavama Sharadashyatam, Prabhravama Sharadashyatam, Ajitasyama Sharadashyatam. This mantra you must say Jokcha Suryandrashe. Whenever you see the sun in the morning, pray that you want to live for 100 years. I want to live for 100 years so that I can get this Brahmajnana, so that I purify my personality, so that Shiva can sit in that. For what purpose? So that I can get Brahma Vidya. The Chidabhasa is not abused. And this Brahma Vidya, which is a Dhenu, is also going to remove my Shoka Moha. When Shoka Moha is gone, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Chakshu, Shrotra, Manas, Vak, Atma, all of these things become the tools for worship of this Lord. That's why we say Pranashchame, Panaschame, Vyanaschame, Suschame, Chakshuschame, Shrotranchame, Manaschame, Vakchame. All of these things may that be created for and become fit for Yajna, Yajnena Kalpantam. So what is the essence here of this whole Anuvaka? This individual, this person, is addressed as Tvam, you. That means this Tvam Padartha Vachya Jivaha, technically, according to Vedanta. That who is addressed as you. That Jiva who is addressed as you, please fashion this Jiva, please redesign this Jiva. How? By making a Dhiraha. by making such an intelligent person who is rare to find, kaschit dhira, who is very rare to find, make me one like that, so that I can become one with the Tat Padartha Vachya Brahman. So how do we address Brahman? As Tat, that, isn't it? So this Tvam has got to be perfected this way so that it can become Tat. For that, unless our body, mind, intellect, a person, thinking, walks, that is speech, hearing, everything is not designed for yajna, is not fashioned for yajna, we have to refashion it. We have to reformat it. What do you do when you have got your system is slow? What do? You, when in doubt, reboot, right? So we got to reboot the whole system. When you reboot this whole system, we will come to know that the anitya vastu, the impermanent tools that are there used from the first Anuvaka, what have we done? We have taken various tools, isn't it? Number of tools we have taken, including some of the utensils, chamasashchame, gravanashchame, all these tools we have accumulated, we have collected. You have got in your house a chair, sofa, furniture, key, and then you have got all these things. Why is that? Why are they all there? It is all for the sake of yajna only. Every utensil you have got in your house is for yajna. Every piece of furniture you have got is for yajna. Like that we have got to see. And when you look at this, all these anitya vastus, all of these are going to perish, isn't it? When all these anitya vastus becomes yajna vastu, then the yajna phala is atmadarshana. As long as we look at all our possessions as something that is to give comfort to our body, or give rishabha, saying that I have got this, this is my property, this is my glory. So as long as one says that, it will not point us to the Brahmavastu. This is the meditation he is saying. So that way, even though the transient things are in our presence, everything is transient, isn't it? All that we see and experience is transient. All that we see, experience has got sadvikaras. But those same transient things will point us to the impermanent. Just as a temporarily used highway takes you to where you have to go. The use of the freeway is very temporary, isn't it? You're not going to sit on the freeway all the time. If you do, then vehaschame. So, to this realizing of the one eternal, and not only that, what is the next concept that this Anuvaka gives? This one eternal, which is inhering in everything, this Chidvastu is the one which is also the self of all. Where is that mantra? Yajno yajnena kalpatam. My body has become yajna. The universe is yajna. And therefore this yajna becomes one with the universal yajna. This is why this whole Anuvaka, actually why whole Anuvaka? The whole of the Chamaka Prashna is a commentary on one mantra of Kathopanishad. One single mantra of Kathopanishad, which is the second chapter, second Valli, the 13th mantra. Nityo nityanam chetanaschेतनानां eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham shantish shashvati netaresham. So So some of us are studying Kathopanishad in another class. So, but those of you who have an access to Kathopanishad, please look at that mantra 2 to 13. So the entire Chamaka Prashna is a commentary on that. Eternal in the transient, eternal sentiency, giving sentiency to the transient, to the temporary. The one who fills the entire universe, one who makes himself into many, a dhira who sees all these things, that they are all existing within himself. His peace, his experience of peace is permanent, not of others. Absolutely grand. A grand set of mantras, Garbhashtami. We'll conclude with Shanti Mantra.